Real Madrid 1, Bayern 2. I mean, it could have been worse, but it's still just so disappointing to lose the game. I think we definitely did get lucky in this game. But we still could have drawn. Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, all of these chances. We're gonna go talk about everything. I'm gonna be honest. I think this is gonna be a game of 99%. We are out 1%. You know what? You know how it goes. But yeah, Bayern were the better team. I think it was 65-60% Bayern were the better team. But Real Madrid definitely didn't give in. We weren't even that bad. I think those two goals they actually scored were the two chances they shouldn't have scored in this game. And that is why it's pissing me off, because I just thought Bayern. I genuinely thought if Bayern are gonna win this game, they are gonna press us for the first 15 minutes, score in those first 15 minutes, and then they are gonna just completely cook us. It wasn't the case of that. We were actually playing 50-50. It was an even game. Nobody can say that Bayern dominated by Real Madrid today. But they do get the win at our home ground, which is a huge advantage. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. It's still a bad result. Yeah, some crucial decisions, controversial decisions happened in this game as well. With the tackle, and in the last minute, Olise got uh, pushed by Carreras. Which, by the way, we're gonna talk about the player ratings in a few seconds. Last thing I want to mention, I think Alvaro Arbeloa lost us this game. Players, some of them were cheeks. Alvaro Arbeloa. If you started Jude Bellingham and Eder Militao, that's your game. That's your game. Yeah, Eder Militao and Jude Bellingham they might be top 3 players in their position. You leave them on the bench for Arda Güler, Pitarch, and Huijsen, because I really like this is what the decision was: Huijsen or Militao, and Arda, Pitarch, or Jude and Arda. And I just don't get it. Why do we prefer these sympathy players in huge games? Because against City, you can afford to play Thiago Pitarch. And by the way, Thiago, you're lucky. You're fucking lucky that you didn't cost us that goal in that first half. I don't care that Lunin gave you the ball. You're a midfielder in a quarterfinal against Bayern Munich. Don't you think that your IQ from that City game should have improved just a little bit and just kick out the ball, bro? You make your life so much harder than it should be. But you know what? It's not your fault, because you shouldn't be starting these games. I wanted him to start. That's my fault as well. He shouldn't have started. I wanted Jude in this midfield. That's what I said from the start. Jude has to start with Eder Militao. The guy I was adamant on as well starting instead of Fran Garcia, Alvaro Carreras, was absolutely buns. He, for the first 15 minutes, him and Olise, band for band. Other than that, Carreras, I gotta tell you, Olise absolutely fried your ass, and Olise should have got a goal today as well. I think Lunin had some great saves, even though, I think he could have done maybe better for the Gnabry goal. Sorry, for the Kane goal. But Olise, if he was a little bit more precise with his shooting today, he would have had 2 goals. And he would have cooked Carreras for 75 minutes. That's how bad it was for today from Carreras. And genuinely, if Mendy is back for that second leg, Carreras is not starting. Carreras shouldn't be starting these games if he's gonna be a pussy. Yes, I said it. He was a complete scarecrow today, brother. Oh, Olise, big game, quarterfinal. Get out. Get out if you're not ready. First touches, control of the football. My brother, you can't make a single pass. You can't do a 1-2. And when it came to defending, Olise, body fan. Da-da-da. He's there, bro. And I'm not telling you, you have to win every single duel against Michael Olise. No, he's a world-class winger. Maybe the best right winger in the world right now. Because Olise absolutely cooked. Generational game from Olise without a goal. And he still got a GA for that Kane goal. I think that was him, because Gnabry, yes, assisted Luis Diaz. But Carreras, oh my goodness gracious. That was a really bad... That was the shittest game from Carreras I have seen. That's on the same level as that Atletico game. But first half, what do I say, man? I think it was even. Bayern had way better chances. I think, that Upamecano one should have been a goal. Gnabry should have been a goal when Lunin basically killed Pitarch, and Pitarch killed Lunin even more. So Gnabry and Upamecano should have scored, which Carreras saved us there, which is the only good thing he actually did this game. And from that point, I think Real Madrid were getting slowly better. and Bayern Munich started to press. That's where it started to fall. My brother, when they started to press us, we were genuinely like, oh shit. Oh shit, we were not getting the ball. And when we finally got the ball, we were too sloppy. We were too inconsistent in attack. And, you know, the first goal, it just speaks for itself, man. We played out of the back to Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. just kicks the ball like, just, yeah, give it away, man. Kicks it to Olise. Tchouameni loses a shoulder to shoulder of it. Kimmich, yeah, Kimmich mentality. I don't care what mentality this 31 Rad has. Tchouameni loses a battle to him. He takes it around, gives it to Gnabry. Gnabry, what a line-breaking pass to Luis Diaz. And Luis Diaz, if you're gonna miss that, you ain't what people say you are, bro. And of course he scores. Lunin, no chance. Really good goal. Really good goal. Some people are saying that was a handball in the build-up. I don't know, man. But the one guy that pissed me off the most from Bayern was not Olise, was not Gnabry, was not Kane, and it was not Luis Diaz. It was this fuck-ass guy that's 40 years old. Bayern's best player tonight was Manuel Neuer, in my opinion. This brother was doing backflips, fucking Beyblades, Pokemon, flips, wrestling, WWE. What is he doing? Especially in that second half. First half, some good saves. You know, that Vinny far post when Mbappe tried to, you know, get on that right side and finish it from that tough angle. Neuer was there. But that second half from Manuel Neuer, we're going to get into that. Because that second half was won by Manuel Neuer. If they didn't score that absolute stinker of a start to the first half, yeah? Stinker over start to that second half by Real Madrid. Because we went out so complacent. We thought, yeah, they're going to chill on us, you know, it's the start of the second half. Let's just feel them out. No, Olise, bang, 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 Kane, one shot, goal. That's all they needed, bro. Like, Kane, he had an okay game, but when it mattered, he was there. He was there. We finally, you know, like started to realize that we are at home. We need to do something in this game. And Arbeloa started to change up something. I noticed the change in shape when Fede Valverde came into, like, you know, he was in the middle more because he needed to help out. When it was needed, he was making those runs. Fede, by the way, today, not your best game, okay? Still not your best game. But the change in this game came when Arbeloa fucking made those changes. Jude Bellingham added Militao, 62nd minute. The whole game changed. The whole flow of the game changed. Bayern, by the way. Bayern still had chances. It was still an even game. But Jude Bellingham comes on. Suddenly, we have more time on the ball. Suddenly, Trent is free on that right side. Suddenly, Fede doesn't have to do that much defensive work. Suddenly, somebody can pick up the ball and not lose it like 5 seconds, like Pitarch and Tchouameni were doing. They were just kicking the ball away in the first half. Jude Bellingham is a fucking game changer in the UCL. And people were telling me, how do you want to start Jude Bellingham? Arda Güler is so good. Arda Güler wasn't even that bad. And I wanted to start him with Jude Bellingham. I wouldn't mind. But when you have Jude Bellingham on the pitch, it's completely different. It's completely different. He wins you balls. He gets you into the attack. He progresses with the ball. He keeps the ball. He wins you fouls. And let's be fucking honest. The only goal that we scored, Jude takes the ball, finds Trent. And when you're Alexander, yeah, Trent Alexander-Arnold in that position, do you not think that he's finding Mbappe for that first goal? What a cross. But, like, when you see Trent in that position, do you actually not think that he's going to make it? But he was just not getting those opportunities in that first half because, let's be honest, Arda Güler was more on the, you know, the vibe that Vinny, we need to cook Stanisic. We need him. We. But Vinny just wasn't working. When he cooked Stanisic, Upamecano was there. When he cooked them both, Neuer was there. It was just not working. We needed to beat Neuer 100%, and that's exactly what we did for that first goal. By the way, Militao and Jude Bellingham completely changed the game. And as I said, Trent makes the cross. Kylian Mbappe finishes. By the way, crazy save by Neuer again. Kind of lucky that Mbappe... Bro, if he missed that shit, oh my goodness. We are out of the Champions League 1,000,000%. This gives us some slither of hope. And, you know, Diaz was there to finish it. By the way, Brahim Diaz, I thought he was great as well. I didn't think he did too many mistakes. He had one crazy-ass pass in the middle, which Bayern almost scored from. Other than that, Brahim Diaz in the UCL off the bench, I don't mind it. He's a different player than in the Liga. We have already noticed that with, the City games and that Atletico Madrid game. Brahim Diaz, when it's a big game, he wants to play. He wants to play. Now, Bayern, of course, more defensive, more calm on the ball. Olise was getting a bit more tired. He lost the ball a couple of times. Kane wasn't in the game too much. He was more on the, deeper side, defending those second balls. But substitutions from Vincent Kompany, I think they were mid, bro. Like, Davies had, 2 runs where he did something against us. Musiala missed a huge chance. He was bad. And then Goretzka and Bishop, of course, that's time wasting, which that's respectable. But other than that, I think Vincent Kompany actually coached a good game from the start. But the game management in the game actually wasn't that great. It wasn't that great. I think Ta is, I don't know if he's lucky. Where is it? Is this a red card? I don't think so. The game would be soft. Can it be a red card? Maybe. I don't know. But he had some tackles before that maybe could have been a yellow. I don't know, man. But this was a crazy tackle. I don't think it was too crazy of a tackle to be a red card. I'm not going to be shameless like that. But I just want to say something before I, wrap up the thoughts on the game. Kylian Mbappe. 21 goals. 24 UCL games. I know he should have maybe scored 2 today at least. Vinicius, by the way, should have had 1 or 2 as well. They had, by the way, Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe had 8 shots on target combined in just the second half, which is we should have scored a second goal. Let's be honest, guys. We did fuck up in those last minutes where Bayern gave us a chance. They gave us a sniff. Unfortunately, we didn't take it. But I just want to pick up Mbappe. Because once again, first half, all I'm hearing is slander, slander, slander. And yes, he wasn't the greatest. He wasn't bad. But Mbappe, that's all we want from you. When you need to be there, finish that chance. I know it wasn't the perfect, we didn't get the draw, but you brought us closer. That's what you are here fucking for, the biggest of goals. Yes, I want you to score 2. Yes, I want you to fucking score a hat-trick. But you are there for that one, which is crucial. Which is crucial to doing anything at the Allianz, by the way. Crucial. Now, to wrap up the game, RMTV, you should be ashamed of yourself. The result is really unfair. Shut the fuck up, honestly. If you think this is unfair, this is lucky. The team that was done unfair is Bayern. Bayern should have won this game 4-2, 4-3, bro. Because they should have been the one that scored goals in the first half. Okay, second half, maybe it was more even, but on chances, they definitely won in the first half. Now, my thoughts on the second leg. I'm not going to do a full prediction, but I think this team can be good at. Now, with a huge caveat, yeah? If they play like they did right now at the Santiago Bernabeu, and they will be confident, Olise will be confident, I think the leg is done. The thing I'm banking on is that Tchouameni will miss that game, and Tchouameni in this game was absolutely shit. He did nothing for the attack. He was so stressful on the ball. You could just see his incompetence to find space between the lines and do anything. If he got the ball, oh, Thiago, come on, have it. Oh, I'm just gonna give it back. I don't need that, bro. I don't need that. I'd rather have Camavinga, who, is risky. Yes, he's risky. He's more risky than Tchouameni, but he's gonna try it. And, in these games, there's nothing to lose. You're going away 2-1 down against Bayern Munich. There's nothing to lose. I'd rather have Camavinga there, and he's 100% gonna be playing because Tchouameni is suspended for that for second leg, which I'm kind of actually happy that Vinny, Mbappe, Jude, Huijsen, and Carreras could have gotten a yellow as well. They didn't, which brings us a step closer to doing something at the Allianz. But as I said, 99% out, 1% chat. It is that. I know it's fucking cringe. Yeah. It's genuinely a matter of if Real Madrid scores first, there is a chance. If we concede first, I think the game is finito. I think Bayern did their thing. I don't think this was their best game as well. And I don't think this was Real Madrid's best game. So, let's see what happens in the second leg. Once again, Neuer, big up to you because I was hearing, and even I was a bit, on that side, that you were washed. You are Ank. Why is not Urbik starting? Fars, man. Greatness doesn't fade away. Sometimes you just gotta shut the fuck up and appreciate greatness, yeah? Manuel Neuer did just that today. And of course, I don't have too many thoughts on, that second goal. I just think it was lazy, man. From us, it was so lazy. We're lucky that we got the first goal back. And that situation with Olise and Carreras, I think at that point of the game, if that's a penalty, stop watching football. And that's just my opinion, yeah? Arbeloa, second leg, easy blueprint. Start Camavinga instead of Tchouameni because he is suspended. Okay, I'm not pushing this Camavinga over Tchouameni agenda. He's literally suspended. Start Jude Bellingham instead of Thiago or Arda Güler. And start Eder Militao. Go out there, guns blazing. If we lose, the season is finito. But we have nothing to lose. We literally have nothing to lose. We are 1-0. We are 1-0 down from the start. Let's try something. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And please, I would really appreciate if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Because we are so close to that 2K mark. And if you have any other thoughts, you know, if you think I was wrong in any of my takes for this game, or you have seen something different in the game, let me know down below. Even, you know, player ratings. I think all these players deserve max 7. You know, even Kiki, Jude, I think they should have done more in those last 15 minutes. So, yeah. This was my thoughts on the game. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid. Peace out.